Hello everyone, this video is about bioremediation. Now, bio means living and remediation means remedy. Consider an environment in which many contaminants and waste products will be present. Now, to destroy those contaminants or to degrade them, we use living organisms, mainly microorganisms. So, these microorganisms may be bacteria or may be fungi. How are these waste products destroyed now? So simply, they are converted from toxic to non-toxic forms. Consider the example where ammonia is harmful to the plants. And if we reduce this ammonia into nitrogen and hydrogen with the help of microorganisms, then this process will be known as bioremediation. Moving forward, the redox reaction play an important role in bioremediation. The redox is the combination of two processes occurring simultaneously, that is, reduction and oxidation. Consider a toxic substance which is present in its oxidized form and microorganisms in its reduced form. So, this toxic substance is reduced to non toxic form, and the microorganisms they are oxidized, which result in the increase in the number. The organisms may be aerobic or anaerobic. So, aerobic organisms will require oxygen, and anaerobic organisms will not require oxygen. So, this is the overall process of bioremediation. Now, as we can see, there is a factory which is releasing the waste products in the environment. Now, the by injecting the microorganisms in such environment, the contaminants will be reduced and carbon dioxide will be generated, and this carbon dioxide is useful in the nature, and this will result in the recovery stage. Moving forward, bioremedy, this is the overall flow chart, and we will see each technique in detail in the next few slides. These are also the same techniques which we will discuss. So, before moving forward towards the techniques, we will see what are the factors that affect bioremediation. So, now first consider that if a particular microorganism requires oxygen and that much or sufficient oxygen is not present during the process, then it may naturally affect the process as microorganisms will not efficiently work during this process. Similarly, there are other factors such as type of soil, temperature, pH, presence of oxygen, and nutrients. Now, for bioremediation to occur, we require two main things. First, we require contaminants, and second, we need microbial population and along with the appropriate environmental factors. So, now let's move towards the techniques. So, as we have seen that the bioremediation is divided into two types, that is in situ and ex situ. So, first we will go through in situ bioremediation. Now, in the simplest words, I'll explain this. So, consider this pool, and this pool consists of different types of contaminants and waste products. And to this pool, we add microorganisms at the same site where the contaminants are present. We are not transferring them to any other site for treating the contaminants. So, this type of bioremediation is known as in situ type. The advantage of this technique is that this process can be carried out at a lower cost. So, there are four types of in situ bioremediation. First is bioventing, second is biosparging, third is bioaugmentation, and fourth is biostimulation. So first we will see about bioventing. Now, in this technique, small wells are created in the soil, and from these wells, air or nutrient supply is provided, and this will stimulate the process of biodegradation. So, the pollutants, they are generally present deep within the soil, and it is used for remediation of PHC polluted soils. The full form of PHC is petroleum hydrocarbons. As we know that the oil industry spills PHC in the water source, which results in groundwater contamination. So by this technique, the contaminated groundwater can be treated. Second is biosparging. Now, sparging means uh, sprinkling of the substance. So, if we sprinkle oxygen underground to enhance or stimulate the aerobic bacteria, then the degradation rate increases. So, now in this figure, the air is injected directly into the ground, and which results in the stimulation and enhancement of the microorganisms to degrade the contaminants. Third is bioaugmentation. So now, in a particular environment, if the number of contaminants are more and the number of microorganisms are less, so we add more microorganisms in the contaminated area so as to carry out degradation process. Fourth is biostimulation. Now, in a contaminated environment, if we add nutrients, so these nutrients will result in developing new strains of microorganisms, and these new strains will degrade the contaminant successfully. So moving to ex situ bioremediation. Now, ex situ bioremediation means carrying out the process of treating the contaminated soil or water in a different location by transferring or evacuation. So, in this method, one disadvantage is that the people may uh, get exposed to the pollutants during the process of transportation. There are four types of ex situ bioremediation. First is land farming, second is composting, third is biopiles, and fourth is bioreactors. Now, in land farming, a bed is prepared. A bed is prepared, and on this bed, microorganisms are present. Now, the contaminated soil is transferred from one location to this bed. So, the microorganisms will start degrading this contaminated soil. And this technique has a low maintenance cost. Second is composting. So, obviously, we have heard about this technique called composting. We add manure or agricultural waste we add manure or agricultural waste to the contaminated soil. So, by doing this, the temperature of the soil increases and it enhances the degradation process. Third technique is biopiles. So, a pile of contaminated soil is made, and in this, the microorganisms are added, and this technique is a combination of land farming and composting. So, in this technique also, we can use it for the treatment of soil which is polluted with PHC, that is petroleum hydrocarbons. And the fourth one is bioreactors. So, bioreactors are the huge vessels in which the soil or the contaminated waste products are inserted, and before inserting, they are made in aqueous suspension, and in the bioreactor, they are mixed in a mechanical way. And by mixing, the rate of pollutant degradation increases. Now, finally, What are the advantages and disadvantages of bioremediation? The advantage is that uh, the com- the pollutants can be completely degraded, and it is less expensive and environment friendly. The disadvantage is that the heavy metals cannot be bioremediated. Only the substances that are biodegradable can be uh, used in this process. So second is that these it is a highly specific process and it takes longer time for the treatment. Thank you.